This is the third video on the coordinate formulas, using them to prove a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. This video, if you haven't watched the videos on distance formula or slope, I highly recommend it. It's the best if you do these in order. All right, but let's take a look at the midpoint formula, and that's what this video is going to focus on. If you do not remember what the midpoint video or midpoint formula is, or how to use it, I recommend going back to last week's notes and reviewing them. Okay, but if you could follow along, we're going to look over this video on midpoint. Okay, and well, how does midpoint work for proving a parallelogram? It shows that when diagonals bisect at the same point, the diagonals midpoints are equal, and therefore the parallelogram diagonals will bisect, and that is a theorem. If the diagonals bisect, then therefore it's a parallelogram. Okay, so let's look at an example problem. And the example problem states, show that quadrilateral with diagonals A, C, and diagonals B, D is a parallelogram. So this time they actually gave us the diagonals. All right, well, let's use the midpoint to figure out the diagonals. Okay, and for the midpoint of AC, and notice this is a capital M. So not a lowercase m. Lowercase m is for slope. Capital M is for midpoint. So the midpoint of AC is my x value, my x values divided by 2, and my y values added together divided by 2. Okay, so you're going to get 1 plus 7 divided by 2, which equals 8 over 2. And you're going to get 1 plus 7 divided by 2 for the y values, which equals 8 over 2. And ironically, your midpoint is going to be 4, which is your x is your 4 and your y is your 4. Okay, now I'm going to look for the midpoint for BD. All right, so I made my x2, y2 my B value, and for my D value, I made x1, y1, and x2 plus y2 is 5 plus 3, which equals 8. And, oh, I'm sorry, x2 plus x1 is 5 plus 3, which equals 8. And y2 plus y1 is 3 plus 5, which equals 8. So you're going to get 8 over 2 and 8 over 2. And so for your midpoint of BD is going to be 4, 4, which is the x value is 4 and the y value is 4. And guess what? Shocker, but 4, 4 is the same as 4, 4. So they share a midpoint. And since AC shares a midpoint with DB, that means that these diagonals are bisected. Okay? And I'll just draw. Okay, these diagonals are bisected because they share the same midpoint, which is going to be right here. I'll make that red. You can even draw the midpoint in there if you want. Okay, so how do we finish this? How do we conclude this? Well, we just have to write our statement, right? And your statement's going to say, since diagonals AC and BD share the same midpoint, diagonals bisect. ABCD is a parallelogram. All right. I actually like doing this one the most. A lot of times you have to draw in the diagonals, but I find this one of the easiest ways to figure out if it's a parallelogram or not. All right, if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram or not. Guys, if you have any questions, let Mrs. Gloss or I, Mr. Champlin, know. I hope these videos are going to help you with your practice and your progress report. Guys, have a great day, great weekend. Hope you're staying healthy and strong. Best of luck. Thank you.